Hello, everybody, and welcome to a review of a show that is clearly sweeping the nation of isekais. Now, let's go rewind the clock. Isekai is you get transported to another world. Whether you get pushed by a train, you get stabbed, or you open a book to another world, or God killed you by accident, you go to another world, and you get reincarnated, this and that. Isekais are generally the most common thing to what guy wakes up, get reincarnated, or wakes up and now he's in this fantasy world where he gets to have his harem or face the consequences of this and that. While he gets harems, while he gets to face dragons and goblins, oh my. Isekais are a central beauty. Isekais always have a black-skinned merchant. Well, I won't say the term black, I'll say dark skin. A dark-skinned merchant, a self-proclaimed MC who's trying to work his way to the top. And again, getting harems on a regular basis and facing an antagonist who wants the power. Now, there are some good isekais that get stuck in the game world. There are isekais that should have been getting that you see on a regular basis could be good or bad, some are mid-card. And there are some isekais that you should get a second season, like No Game, No Freaking Life. Honestly, when is No Game, No Life going to get a second season? What about Tanya, the Saga of Evil? I'm still waiting for another season of that. I mean, yeah, you got a trailer of it, but can we get another season of that? But I rest my case. This isekai I'm going to review is a show that's been in the Mount Rushmore of isekais. It's everybody's top 5. Famous YouTubers live stream and talk about the episodes, this and that, because this isekai is strictly a golden isekai. This is like one of those, it's like if you handle the regular basic isekais, like the Inuyasha type vibe, this isekai, you're going to journey beyond the life of getting a second chance. And some isekai, the isekais, you are given a second chance. And in this case, you do. So without further ado, let's get right to it with the review of Mushoku Tensei. I'm using my name on this one. Jobless Reincarnation, because this is going to be this. So, start off this show with, like I said, isekais are an extremely beauty. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation starts off with this chubby guy. And all he does is in his room watching and reading, 18 plus strictest shows, and easily do when you're alone in your room, which not to joke around, but you get my point. He'd been bullied at home and in school. He didn't even go to his funeral. He didn't go to their parents' funeral and whatnot. And I remember it like he was trying to, the family came in, barged into the room and see what he was doing. Running away in the rain, he gets hit. So, what happens then? Isekai. You get transported to another world. You don't get transported, you get isekai. Meaning, you get reincarnated, which is sometimes you do. You get reincarnated. So you start from day one. You start from scratch. You start from scratch. So he wakes up as a baby, newborn baby, and he still has that perverted personality as a baby. Like it's like nothing fazed this guy. I mean, yeah, he's still Ritas. That's his name, Ritas. Well, actually, in the world, they call him Ritas. But anyway, Ritas is born. He's now a baby nonetheless, and he's, again, given the second chance in life. Now, remember, the mindset of an adult, he's still doing perverted things. Like, he grabbing women's panties and just putting them over his head like freaking Kazuya from Konosuba. But he's developed in ways more than one. Like, father was a warrior, mom was a spellcaster, they got a maid, and there are some scenes that it's behind closed doors. Like, you hear parents moaning, you hear this and that, you try to play it off. So over time, he studies magic, and he meets the new girl that everybody loves, Roxy. The blue hair girl that everybody has the diehards for. Now, while Jobless Reincarnation proved that it's one of the top tier isekais, it's not just about him getting a second chance, but you get to see the journeys of him going through so much time. And I mean, this guy in the beginning wants to get laid. I mean, at that certain age, once he was like, I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10, he started getting like, he wants to get laid or whatnot, and then then he goes to town and meet the girl with the red hair. I forgot her name, but she was a badass. She was a total badass. And then, talk about peak of isekais. I mean, it has its moments that makes you sit down and you're like, life is full of wonders. This is why you're given a second chance. Sure, it's to redo everything you've done in the past to redeem yourself. Because back then he was bullied. He was picked on at school, picked on at home. This is a celebratory moment for him to get a second chance. Now, unlike the other isekai, which is I got a cheat skill in another world, this one right here, it's like he's getting a power up from this. Like, it's so power up that the journeys that he's going through, where studying magic, making craft dolls, going to school. He gets, he gets older, but he gets more wiser. He knows the mistakes. He knows he had faults. Everything he learned from the past, everything he learned from his real world, he now brings it to the isekai world. So he knows his faults. He knows the mistakes. He knows what he got to do, fix the problems, and that's that. Ritas has changed. He stepped up. He has stepped up in many ways. Now, I did question him back then in season 1. I did question him because the way how he was, because he still got that perverted mind, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy, I don't know about him. But as episodes moving on and on and on, he actually stepped up. He stepped up. He got a squad. He's making friends. He training. He's going to school. He's starting, and not to spoil anybody, but if you get to season 2, he got the woman that he loves. He stepped up. He stepped up to the plate. And that's what I think about isekais. Isekais like this, Jobless Reincarnation, yeah, it's good, but it also adapts your ways of getting a second chance. Learn from what you did in the real world and bring it to the isekai world. And then Jobless Reincarnation is there. Now, Ritas himself, there's nothing to badmouth him anymore. Not then, but now he stepped up. He's now mature. He's humble. He know what mistakes it is. Yeah, there are some times that he goof around, but he takes things seriously and he wants to help out others in many ways. Now, I haven't read the LN series, but with a new series coming now, part 2 of the Jobless Reincarnation season 2, I believe. I could be wrong, but he's developing in many ways. Now, it's not about, what I like about Jobless Reincarnation, it's not about Rita's development, but it's also showing other signs of characters who at their faults. And sometimes they learn from them going to Ritas. Because Ritas is like my mentor. He's trying to give them confidence. He gives them words of what to do and what not to do. And we've seen that. There are some moments, again, Jobless Reincarnation is so over the top that they censored a lot of things that you can't hear. But in our minds, we know what they've been doing. Like when the parents making out, we hear the voices in our head like they doing what? We hear the maid doing stiff things you don't want to know. And the elf. And that slutness of an elf who everybody loves to smash, by the way. The blonde hair with the elf. She smashed every man just to get it, just to stay alive. If that's not class, I do not know. Think about it. Would y'all date her? Would y'all date her? Think about that. Would y'all date her? For one thing, she did sleep with over 1,000 men. But it's a curse thing, so you can't blame that. But the diseases that people put in her. Just hear me out. But again, if you want to keep her, you got to have sex every day. If you have that sex drive to be like, okay, we keep going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 365 days a year, you'll be good. But they do have some moments where it's got to be censored. Unless you try hard and you want to see it uncensored, that'll be the case. Now, but again, Jobless Reincarnation is so good, it's so pure, it's so good, that it's funny, but it's action as well, giving the guy a second chance. This is the guy who watches get sucked into an isekai world, get reincarnated, And yeah, he got that perverted mind, but he kind of grow out of that at times. So bear with him for that. You may hate him at first, but you're gonna forgive the guy. But you do see some development in him along the way. Now, like I said, you're talking about a top tier isekai. This is like the S tier. If anybody would ask, where is Jobless Reincarnation as the isekais of isekais? This is like the Mount Rushmore of isekais. I mean, like, I don't have anything locked for 4, but I can tell you this. Rise of the Shield Hero, Overlord, and Jobless Reincarnation on the Mount Rushmore of isekais. I don't have a 4th one yet. I'm still thinking about what would be my 4th. But if anybody asks where you put Jobless Reincarnation as your best isekai, you gotta put that in the top 3 or top 5. It is not a top 10. It's not like 6 through 10. But in a top 5 or top 3 isekais, that needs to be set in stone. So, thank you for watching my review of Jobless Reincarnation. Overall, like the entire series as a whole. And again, I haven't read the LN series, so I don't know where this is going to lead to. I don't want to get spoiled by it, but let's see what it is. But thank you for watching my review of Jobless Reincarnation. And like I said, with other shows coming out in the spring, I'm looking forward to other shows along the way. So, see you in spring. Oh, wait, we are in spring.